Let's take a look at leading during a crisis. Leading during a crisis can be regarded as contingency leadership because the situation demands that the leader emphasize certain behaviors, attitudes, and traits. Crisis leadership is the process of leading group members through a sudden and largely unanticipated, intensely negative, and emotionally draining circumstance. Leadership is a key ingredient in successful crisis management. Effective crisis leadership ensures that a business is prepared before a crisis emerges and that successfully navigates the response and recovery. Here, we describe 9 leadership attributes and attitudes as well as behaviors associated with successfully leading an organization or unit through a crisis. The best accepted principle of crisis leadership is that the leader should take divisive and decisive action to remedy the situation. The greater the crisis, the less time the leader has to consult a wide array of people. After a plan is formulated, it should be widely communicated to help reassure group members that something concrete is being done about the predicament. A corollary of being decisive during a crisis is to not be indecisive or to hide from a crisis when it's in its midst. The first phase of crisis leadership is to stabilize the emergency situation and buy time. Being decisive in response to a crisis also includes communicating widely the plans for resolving the problems that created the crisis, assuming that the organization had some responsibility for it. Compassionate leadership brings about organizational healing involving taking some form of public action that eases pain and inspires others to act as well. Compassionate leadership encompasses 2 related sets of actions. The first is to create an environment in which affected workers can freely discuss how they feel, such as a group meeting to talk about the crisis or disaster. The second is to create a way in which workers who experience or witness pain can alleviate their own suffering and that of others. The leader might establish a special fund or an opportunity to receive grief counseling. During an organizational crisis, it's even more important for the leader to think strategically and see the big picture, because subordinates may become so mired in the crisis that they see no way out. When tough times hit, it pays to increase communication about the problems facing the company or unit and what might be done to improve the situation. A temporary drop in performance and productivity is almost inevitable for most workers after disaster strikes, even if the organization was not directly affected. The leader should emphasize the temporary nature of the performance decline. Leaders who keep their company or division focused on core values are likely to endure difficult times. Lowering core values to help overcome adversity can create permanent damage. One of the worst ways to lead a group through a crisis is to strongly defend yourself against your critics or deny wrongdoing. The same denial approach is referred to as maintaining a bunker mentality or stonewalling the problem. Pessimists abound in every crisis, so an optimistic leader can help energize group members to overcome the bad times. The effective crisis leader draws action plans and gives people hope for a better future. A key part of planning for physical disaster, for example, is to anticipate where you'll go, how you will get in touch with employees, and where you might set up a temporary workplace. Effective leaders stay calm and are steady performers, even under heavy workloads and uncertain conditions. Remaining steady in crisis contributes to effectiveness because it helps team members cope with the situation. During times of large and enduring crises, transformational leadership may be the intervention of choice. The transformational leader can often lead the organization out of misery. Transformational leadership is likely to benefit the troubled organization both in dealing with the immediate crisis and in performing better in the long run.